Hi guys. Today's case that we are going to analyze is the case of Bryan Kohberger. I call him the Grim Reaper because it'll be pretty evident when we take a look at his chart. And I think you can just see by his physique that he does fit the Grim Reaper moniker. So this is the um, analysis of his natal chart, specifically about the dark aspects that may explain his actions. So to continue, let's go ahead and take a look at his chart. It's right here. We don't have his birth time, but his birth date is November 21st, 1994. If you look at his chart right here, you'll see that there is a stellium of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a very dark um, astrological sign. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it has a lot of depth, intensity. It deals with power, money, sex, death. So very appropriate for Mr. Bryan Kohberger. Now, I see that his sun in Scorpio is conjunct his Pluto in Scorpio. Now, this makes him very scorpionic because the ruler of his sun sign is right next to his sun, and Pluto is in its home sign. So he's a very Plutonic, scorpionic person. Also, what I've noticed from 50 years of looking at natal charts on and off, but I have been consistently studying for a long time. I've noticed that um, the dark energies are usually associated with the later degrees of the sign. So this is usually starting at, I would say, 16 to 29. Um, the former degrees are, I consider, lighter, and they tend to be more positive, where the latter degrees are more negative. So you see that he has a lot of late degree Scorpios, which is another sign that this is a very dark, negative individual. Now we've got it conjunct his north node, and um, sorry, my cat is right here. Um, I think she wants to join in the conversation. Um, okay, so anyway, he also has Venus retrograde in um, Scorpio. Now, retrograde, I have noticed when a planet appears to be going in the opposite direction, it does mean that it goes against the norms of that sign and that planetary energy of the moment. So, whatever moment you're in, you're going to go against it naturally. Other astrologers may say differently, but that's what I've seen. It's pretty evident when you start looking at some of the outer planets. Now, this Venus retrograde, this is a personal planet. The fact that it's a personal planet and it's backwards is very telling. Now, we all know that Bryan Kohberger was accused of being an incel, and this is a really good indicator of that, along with the North Node being right at smack dab in the middle of everything here. This is an obsession of his. The North Node, I have seen, is usually a point of obsession. It's where the sun and moon meet, the plane of the earth, and for some reason, it really is powerful for the individual, and it almost always stays activated. It's a very relevant part of the person's life. So, of course, we know that he was going into criminology, again, very scorpionic. I think even his father, who is right here, Jupiter, and I would even say Saturn in this case. I believe he is a janitor, um, which is scorpionic, that deals with the excrements, the not so pretty part of life. They're very good at dealing with. So now this Mars right over here in um, 23 degrees. Again, it's a later degree in Leo, and Leo is a very ego-centered sign, and Mars is as well. And Mars is a personal planet, and look what it's doing. It is attacking. It's squaring, challenging Pluto and his sun. Now, this gives a lot of aggression, in my opinion. And you can see, even in this chart, as far as the Idaho 4 murders are concerned, you'll see that um, he plays this role, and he is going after all of these people. This is who I would say comprises the Idaho 4. And this is his little obsession of being an incel, allegedly, and being very hyper focused on females, and him not being able to relate or really have any type of charm when it comes to women. And I think it was very frustrating for him. Now he also has a Saturn squaring Pluto and his sun. So I would also say that this is squaring the stellium. I kind of consider this one thing. So we've got Saturn, which is a dark planet. We got Mars, which is a dark planet. And we got Pluto, that's another dark planet. These are the three malefics. And look, what it's doing here. Um, so we've got a lot of serious challenges in this chart, and the way he chose to express it, well, we all know. Honestly, with all of the indications in his chart, the fixed nature with Aquarius, we've got, this really powerful Scorpio stellium. We got Leo and we got Taurus. This is someone who is fixated, and there is no way, in my opinion, that this was not going to happen. This is something I believe was fated. Um, so Black Moon Lilith also gives a lot of help. This is, I would say, the moon, the mind gone dark, especially when it comes to female values and anything concerning the feminine, which Taurus does represent. The moon, of course, is either going to be in, I believe, Gemini or Cancer. I think it's in Cancer because Cancer dudes, especially Cancer suns, tend to be a little emotional when it comes to females, especially, and a little too emotional. They can sometimes cross over to the other side, which is the dark side of Capricorn. So I'll be teaching some of the tricks that I use to make astrology a lot easier. I see the calendar more as a circle than um, a vertical situation that we currently have. It does make things a lot easier because you'll start to see that instead of 12 signs, there's actually six polar polarizations. Um, and for instance, there's also a month by month analysis, which I can also put together in another recording in the future. So this is my first attempt to do a live recording and not use um, an AI voice generator, which I used in my previous videos. That was just to kind of get things started, but I might be reviewing um, the other cases in this coffee and crime channel that I already posted. I might actually do a verbal one in the future. um, in any case, I am a live person and I've been studying astrology all of my life. I do think I was born to do this. It's not something that I've been comfortable with, but I can see the value of it now, and I want to start sharing this information with people who are interested. Um, One of the warnings that I'll give you about astrology is you really don't know how this is going to come out. So if you have a chart similar to Bryan Kohberger's, doesn't mean that you're going to uh, commit the crimes that he did. It might also actually mean that you're a master. For example, the later degrees can also mean mastery. But I've usually seen it just because I study the criminal side of astrology. I've seen it very impactful in um, criminal uh, bad actors. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Please like and subscribe and comment. I am looking for some astrology friends, so please do comment, and maybe we can have a chat one day. Thank you. Bye.